So my question today to all of you is, does anybody feel really dehydrated? Now, the reason I ask is because I'm feeling a bit dehydrated actually at the moment. I'm really making sure that I am getting my deep cellular hydration on, because I'm actually quite prone to getting dehydrated. As most of you know, I have a background in extreme sports, and I mean, I'm a bit of a biohacker. I do a lot of sweating, I do a lot of saunas, I do a lot of high intensity exercise, so I can lose my minerals quite quickly. So I'm very aware of when I'm getting a little bit dehydrated on a cellular level. So I'm hearing a lot from my patients, I feel really thirsty all the time. And this has so much to do with the fact that we're all experiencing weird types of stress, which can make us dehydrated. And of course, some of us are experiencing this infection, we're getting fevers, and that's upsetting the electrolyte balance, okay? The potassium, sodium balance, the magnesium, and there's many other key minerals we need to have, perfect electrolytes. And if we don't have a really good stable electrolyte balance, then the cell membrane integrity gets lost, and we can't excrete the wastes from our body, we can't absorb the minerals we need, and it's a bit it just destabilizes the whole system. And we need this. We need to have strong immune function. We need all the electrical signals in the body to work optimally right now. Well, we always do, but especially now, especially if you've had the infection and you're in a kind of recovery stage, or even if you're in the acute stages and you've got the fever, you must make sure that you are hydrated. So what I really recommend is for people to take electrolytes right now. If you're feeling thirsty, okay, or if you've had a fever, or you're going through a fever, or you're just pretty exhausted for whatever reason, I would start taking electrolytes. Now, there's no affiliate here. I just love Seeking Health. Many of you have heard about me talking about Dr. Ben Lynch's company, because he's just such a brilliant, trustworthy doctor. And I love his electrolytes, mainly because they have huge amounts of potassium in them. And everyone talks about magnesium, but they don't really talk about potassium. And if you look into the literature, you'll see that, women are more deficient in potassium than men. And we're looking at like sort of 90% of us are deficient in potassium. And it's hard to get enough in our food, especially if you have any food intolerances or you're on a FODMAP diet, because most of the really potassium-rich foods are kind of FODMAP type foods, or they've got high lectins. So you can obviously make potassium broth with vegetables, potatoes, and that's incredible. But I just love the Seeking Health electrolyte formula, because it has 500 milligrams of potassium. It has obviously the sodium in there. It has other great things. It has the magnesium, but it has other great things like the D-ribose, which is just so critical for pushing the magnesium and potassium into the cell. It has creatine in there. It is so energy giving. And for people that are chronically dehydrated, or people that are in their fevers, right in the kind of acute phases, or you're just coming out of it and you're just exhausted, that deep post viral exhaustion, it can bring you back to life. So I would highly recommend you think about taking electrolytes if you have any of these symptoms. And if you're just somebody who wants to kind of keep yourselves hydrated, and make sure you are drinking good clean water. Tap water is not going to cut it, I'm afraid. Just first off, if you remember the periodic table from school, I mean, chlorine and fluoride are on the same line of the periodic table as iodine. So our water is treated with these two kind of neurotoxic chemicals, and that's going to upset our iodine balance. And iodine is another hugely deficient mineral. I'm not going to talk about that now, but if you're drinking tap water every day, you're going to be pushing the iodine off the receptor, which isn't great, because we need iodine for our thyroids and for many of our other tissues and organs to work optimally. So I would recommend everybody gets their water filtered. Just put in a charcoal filter. You can do this very cheaply, very easily. And just put a pinch of sea salt in your water in the morning, because sea salt has over 80 minerals. And that's a good way to start to absorb your food as well, because it helps to stimulate digestion, and it just helps you with the absorption of the water you're drinking. Maybe put a bit of lemon in there, get a bit of vitamin C, very good for the adrenals when you wake up. That's a great drink. Water alone is not going to just hydrate you if you're already dehydrated. So that would be my recommendation. I hope that's helpful. Now, if you've got any questions or any recommendations on how to restore your hydration levels, please leave them for me below. And of course, any questions. Have a great day.